Today, we delve into the harrowing history and ongoing struggles faced by Muslims in Gaza. From displacement to blockades, the story of Gaza is one of resilience amid relentless oppression. Imagine a place just a little bigger than Disney World, now cram 2 million people in there. That's Gaza. It's one of the most densely populated places on Earth. But it wasn't always this way. This is a story about how a place becomes a humanitarian crisis. How decades of conflict and occupation can crush the hopes of an entire people. Picture this, 1948. The world is still reeling from the aftermath of World War II, and the Middle East is on the brink of a monumental change. The British, who had controlled Palestine since the end of World War I, are preparing to leave. The United Nations has proposed a plan to partition Palestine into separate Jewish and Arab states, but the plan is met with fierce opposition and conflict. The British are out of Palestine and Israel is declared an independent state. On May 14, 1948, David Ben-Gurion, the head of the Jewish Agency, proclaims the establishment of the State of Israel. This declaration is met with jubilation among Jews worldwide, but it also marks the beginning of a dark chapter for the Palestinian people. But for Palestinians, it's anything but a celebration. The creation of Israel leads to a violent conflict, known as the Arab-Israeli War of 1948. As fighting breaks out, many Palestinian families find themselves caught in the crossfire, their lives turned upside down. It's what they call the Nakba, the catastrophe. This term encapsulates the profound sense of loss and displacement experienced by Palestinians. Entire communities are uprooted, and the social fabric of Palestinian society is torn apart. Over 700,000 Palestinians are forced from their homes, driven by fear and violence. They leave behind their villages, their farms, their livelihoods, and embark on a perilous journey to find safety. Many walk for miles, carrying whatever they can on their backs, uncertain of what the future holds. Many of them, they end up in Gaza. This narrow strip of land already densely populated becomes a refuge for thousands of displaced Palestinians. The influx of refugees puts immense pressure on the local resources and infrastructure. See, before 1948, Gaza was a diverse place, a mix of religions and cultures. It was a vibrant community where Muslims, Christians, and Jews lived side by side, sharing their lives and traditions. The markets were bustling, the streets were filled with the sounds of daily life, and there was a sense of harmony among the residents. But the Nakba, it fundamentally changes the demographics of Gaza, turning it into a land of refugees. The once diverse and thriving community is now overwhelmed by the sheer number of people seeking shelter. Makeshift camps spring up, and the landscape of Gaza is forever altered. Imagine the stories, the trauma, passed down from generation to generation. The memories of lost homes, the pain of displacement, and the longing for a return to a life that once was. These stories become a part of the collective memory of the Palestinian people, shaping their identity and their struggle for justice. The grandparents who still have the keys to their homes in Jaffa or Haifa, homes they can no longer visit. These keys are more than just metal objects, they are symbols of a lost past and a hope for the future. They represent the enduring connection to a homeland that many Palestinians still dream of returning to. This, my friends, is where the story of Gaza as we know it begins. A story of resilience, of a people who have faced unimaginable hardships but continue to hold on to their identity and their dreams. The events of 1948 set the stage for the ongoing conflict and the enduring struggle of the Palestinian people, and as we delve deeper into this history, we will uncover the layers of this complex and poignant narrative. Fast forward to 1967. Tensions are high. The Six-Day War erupts between Israel and its Arab neighbors. Israel wins a decisive victory. And guess what? They occupy Gaza along with the West Bank and East Jerusalem. Now, Palestinians in Gaza find themselves living under Israeli military rule. Checkpoints become a part of everyday life. Movement is restricted. The economy? Strangled. Imagine living in a place where you can't even leave without permission from the people who occupy your land. This is the reality for Palestinians in Gaza, and it's a reality that continues to this day. 2007, Hamas, a Palestinian political party and militant group, wins elections in Gaza. Israel and Egypt, they're not happy about it. They impose a blockade. Think about it, a blockade. It's an act of war, but it's become normalized. The message is clear. Isolate Gaza, make them suffer. The impact is devastating. The economy is crippled. Unemployment skyrockets. Basic goods, medicine, they become scarce and expensive. Imagine living in a place where the most basic necessities of life are either unavailable or out of reach. This is the reality of the blockade. It's collective punishment, plain and simple. And as if the blockade wasn't enough, Gaza is repeatedly subjected to military offensives. 2008, 2012, 2014, 2021. Each conflict leaves behind a trail of devastation. Homes reduced to rubble, hospitals overwhelmed, children traumatized. The human cost is staggering and heart-wrenching. Imagine living with the constant fear of bombs raining down on your city, your home, your family. Imagine having to rebuild your life again and again from the ashes of war and destruction. This is the harsh reality for the people of Gaza. The result of all this? A full-blown humanitarian crisis. Food insecurity is rampant. Clean water is scarce. Families are forced to make impossible choices every day. Do they spend their limited resources on food or on water? Do they risk their lives to find clean water? Or do they drink from polluted sources and risk illness? The situation is dire, and the people of Gaza are living on the edge. The electricity flickers on and off. Hospitals lack basic supplies. Medical staff are overwhelmed, working tirelessly to provide care with what little they have. Patients wait in crowded wards, hoping for treatment that may never come. The healthcare system is stretched to its limits, and the people suffer as a result. Imagine needing urgent medical care and finding that the hospital has no power, no medicine, and no hope of relief. The sewage system is on the verge of collapse. Overflowing sewage contaminates the streets, creating a breeding ground for disease. Broken pipes and inadequate infrastructure mean that clean water is a luxury few can afford. The stench of sewage fills the air, a constant reminder of the dire conditions. Children play in these streets, exposed to health risks that no one should have to face. The environment itself seems to be turning against the people, adding to their daily struggles. Imagine a place where even the most basic human needs are a struggle to meet, where carrying water is a daily burden, and makeshift homes offer little protection from the elements. Children play in the rubble, their laughter a stark contrast to the devastation around them. Every day is a battle for survival, and the resilience of the people is tested to its limits. They face challenges that many of us can scarcely imagine, yet they continue to persevere. This is the reality of life under blockade and occupation. The military presence is a constant reminder of the restrictions placed on their lives. Border checks and destroyed buildings are part of the daily landscape. Movement is restricted, and opportunities are limited. The blockade affects every aspect of life, from the economy to education to healthcare. The people of Gaza are trapped in a cycle of poverty and despair, with little hope for change. It's a slow-motion disaster, unfolding right before our eyes. The world watches as the situation deteriorates, but meaningful action is slow to come. The people of Gaza live each day with uncertainty, never knowing what the future holds. The cityscape tells a story of resilience and struggle, of a community that refuses to be broken despite the odds. The slow-motion footage captures the essence of their daily lives, a poignant reminder of the ongoing crisis. But the people of Gaza, they haven't given up hope. They continue to resist. Protests for their rights are a common sight, a testament to their unyielding spirit. They rebuild their homes, brick by brick, determined to create a better future for their children. Schools are filled with eager young minds, dreaming of a life beyond the blockade. The resilience and determination of the people are a beacon of hope in an otherwise bleak landscape. They continue to dream of a better future. Children draw pictures of peace and prosperity, their imaginations untouched by the harsh realities around them. Families gather, sharing stories and laughter, finding solace in each other's company. Young people discuss their dreams and aspirations, refusing to let their circumstances define them. The spirit of hope is alive and well, a powerful force that drives them forward. A future free from occupation, free from violence, free from fear. The peaceful landscapes of Gaza, the symbolic images of freedom, and the hopeful faces of its residents tell a story of resilience and hope. They dream of a day when they can live in peace, when their children can grow up without fear, and when their homeland can thrive. This is the dream that keeps them going, the vision of a brighter future that they hold on to with unwavering faith. The plight of Gaza's Muslims continues to draw international concern. Across the globe, people are uniting in solidarity, raising their voices to highlight the ongoing struggles faced by the people of Gaza. From bustling city streets to quiet rural towns, the message is clear: The world is watching, and the world cares. These demonstrations are not just about showing support, they are about demanding change, justice, and an end to the suffering that has plagued Gaza for far too long. Despite repeated calls for peace, the cycle of violence and oppression remains unbroken. The images of destruction and despair are heart-wrenching, yet they are a daily reality for those living in Gaza. Each explosion, each demolished building, and each life lost is a stark reminder of the urgent need for a lasting resolution. The international community has a responsibility to not only call for peace but to actively work towards it, ensuring that the voices of the oppressed are heard and their rights are upheld. The resilience of Gaza's people amid unimaginable hardships underscores their unyielding quest for freedom and dignity. Children continue to play amidst the rubble, families gather for meals in the shadow of destruction, and communities come together to support one another. This resilience is a testament to the strength and spirit of the Palestinian people. They refuse to be broken, even in the face of overwhelming adversity. Their daily lives, filled with both struggle and hope, are a powerful reminder of the human spirit's capacity to endure and persevere. It's a story that demands our attention and action. We can't stay silent, we can't look away. The global protests and solidarity marches are a call to action for each of us. They remind us that we have a role to play in advocating for justice and human rights. By raising our voices, sharing their stories, and demanding accountability, we can contribute to a movement that seeks to bring about real change. Silence is complicity, and inaction is unacceptable. We must stand with Gaza, not just in words but in deeds. The people of Gaza deserve justice, they deserve freedom, they deserve to live without fear of violence and oppression. The signs held high in protests around the world echo this sentiment, calling for an end to the occupation and the establishment of a just and lasting peace. These demands are not just for the people of Gaza, but for all who believe in the principles of human rights and dignity. Justice for Gaza is justice for humanity. They deserve a future filled with hope, not hardship. Let's amplify their voices. Let's demand accountability. The children of Gaza, with their dreams and aspirations, deserve the chance to grow up in a world where they can thrive. By supporting initiatives that promote peace, education, and development, we can help build a brighter future for them. Advocacy and activism are crucial, but so is tangible support that addresses the immediate needs of those affected by the conflict. Let's work together to build a world where Gaza is no longer a symbol of suffering, but a beacon of hope and resilience. Through collective effort, we can support the rebuilding of Gaza, ensuring that its people have access to the resources and opportunities they need to rebuild their lives. Community efforts, both local and international, play a vital role in this process. By fostering a spirit of solidarity and cooperation, we can help transform Gaza from a place of despair to one of hope and possibility. Together, we can make a difference.